All right, from a docu-series to movies, this is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. And now I'm wondering about the movies that are going to be released tomorrow. Can we feel good about the movies that are going to be released tomorrow? JP?
I'm so glad you asked that question because JP is... JP and AB, by the way, who...
It rhymes, yeah?
And I did not plan this either. Honestly did not plan this shirt. So
yeah.
I think it's like, in Star Trek when you get like the negative version of Spock and he's got the creepy beard. And that's not you.
That's all okay.
You're the good guy, I'm the bad guy in this situation. You hear this about me when you talk about movies.
Yeah.
But interesting stuff that we got coming out. And the first one is called Bad Genius.
Bad Genius.
And it was based on, there was a Thai movie originally in 2017 that did the rounds. And I think some people, the way they watch sometimes these deep Korean movies and they go look for specific China, I think it might have even been popular here with some people. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so there's an American remake because they've always got to do that, man. They got to if they didn't have their own thing, they got to adapt it. But it doesn't look too bad. And leading lady there is Kalina Liang. Leading lady, she's a kidlet still. Yeah. But one of the other big names that people might recognize is Benedict Wong, who you're into superhero movies?
I am. And the last movie I watched, Deadpool and Wolverine.
I mean, to ask you, sorry, we're still in the getting to know you. JP just steamrolled rather than breaking the ice.
Sure.
So Deadpool and Wolverine, and you recommend that?
Yeah, 100%.
We are.
Two ways about it.
We're going to fight.
Yeah?
I'm just kidding. But Benedict Wong, you'll remember him from Doctor Strange. You'll see his face now.
Oh, yeah.
And so Bad Genius, she is this prodigy of a kid. And her family doesn't have a lot of money. It's a single dad situation. He just runs a laundromat. And he wants to get her into MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. That's big money. And she decides that while she's helping this other girl in this new high school that she goes to while she's preparing for that, that she's going to start a business of... Is it cheating, really, what she's doing? Is it tutoring? So there are all these sort of blurred lines and ethical decisions where she's giving code there to people about using hand signals. She teaches them this language. So I think if you're into stuff like that's a heist movie, if you're into if you remember Hustlers with J-Lo, if you remember Logan Lucky, this is actually such an interesting observation in Hollywood is that I think as the economy gets worse and worse in the world, you're going to see more of these heist movies come out of just average people going, how can I buckle the system? Basically.
Sure. But what do you think makes them popular, though?
Well, I think that's the thing, is people going, I'm going to get my own. I feel screwed over. Yeah. And so these are becoming more and more popular. Like I said, from whether it's Hustlers, there was also Hull or High Water, which is just a bunch of hillbilly cowboy types knocking over a bank type situation. But here she's knocking over the education system too.
Sure.
And then also, by the way, Jabari Banks, I don't know if you remember that they did a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air remake.
Oh, yeah.
He was Will Smith's character. But anyway, let's move on to the
second movie.
Again, heist movies. Next one's called Greedy People and stars other familiar names that people might recognize, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
And so from Inception, probably most recently for people and most
one of the best films of all time, one of my favorites. Love it to bits.
It's decent, man. And then Uzo Aduba is also great as well. And Himesh Patel, who was in a Beatles movie called Yesterday. But anyway, he was in it with Lily James, who is also in this movie. That's the long story. Now get into the short story. I saw this one, actually, and I was a bit bummed because I do like this director from what he previously done. Potsy Poncaroli previously did a movie called Old Henry, going back to this old Western cowboy stuff very well. And in this one, what he's doing here is very much like a Coen Brothers situation. Coen Brothers being Fargo, being No Country for Old Men, and where these two cops, Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Himesh Patel, they come across a murder situation and there's money on the scene. They decide they're the first ones there. Maybe they're going to make an opportunity of this for themselves. So a small town starts going sideways. It used to be breezy, leafy, and peaceful, and obviously murders start to happen as more people get enticed by this situation. But for me, the problem is it felt like a bit of a tonal, all over the place kind of thing. I didn't know if it wanted to be funny like Snatch, or it didn't want to know if it wanted to be more of a dead serious Scorsese type thing. It looked like something got mixed up in the washer, but it's not terrible. It has good laughs here and there, but man, there are better options for it. I'm going to go watch No Country for Old Men again after this. It actually put me in the mood. But if that's your kind of thing. It's a movie like this, by the way, that makes me think, man, if movies were just a bit more affordable, maybe people would give a chance to I know it's not going to change my life.
Yeah. But what are you saying about this movie? Are you saying it's overkill?
It doesn't know what it wants to be, so in a way it's overkill, it maybe just didn't have the backbone to be we're definitely going to be a Coen Brothers style movie. We're definitely going to be, a Soderbergh type movie and whatever. Not the worst thing in the world, but man, in fact, speaking of overkill, while I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the dude from Inception, the dude from Third Rock from the Sun going way back, it's the character is just over-constructed. It tries too hard. It doesn't feel natural is the main issue for me.
Okay.
But if you're into a crime thriller type thing, maybe it's worth your time, worth a look. I didn't think it was too bad necessarily.
All right. Fantastic. Now, final movie.
Yudra is the Bollywood offering, but actually,
I love Bollywood.
I hate sometimes when you put in something aside, like, oh, it's Bollywood, by the way. No, it's also cinema,
Yeah.
It's like when we talk about South African jazz, which obviously it's its own style, but it's on the world stage as well. And Yudra looks like it's really going for something that we know from the world stage, that John Wick type feeling of things. The gritty thriller stuff. But dude,
so a lot of action here.
I cut out a heck of a lot of violence from this. There's a lot of blood.
Okay.
So don't worry, I've made it all family friendly, and obviously people have to run on the beach in slow motion as well as Bollywood movies go. Why? That I don't understand, because women like a bit of action too, man. It's not like, oh, we need the romance to bring in the girls. No, they like to...
Carissa, maybe just give me an indication. Do you love action?
Does she love violence?
Oh, okay.
She's
all right.
been violence somewhere, I'm sure. But so for me, like I said, whether John Wick you want to compare to that, or whether you want to compare to, I don't know if you remember Drive with Ryan Gosling, that sort of...
Oh, classic.
Dude, simmering under the surface. There's just something brewing, something bubbling, and something's going to make him pop just one of these days. He's got anger management problems, this Yudra character. He has a difficult past that he doesn't want to go back to.
Sure.
But you're bringing out the man that I didn't want to be. And so he's gone to take revenge on these drug dealers in his local area.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a one man against an army type situation. It looks like decent production, and if recently it looks like people obviously have a taste for this, whether in India, whether in Bollywood, however you want to word it, because we had Monkey Man recently as well with Dev Patel, which was good action if you're into that kind of thing.
Of course.
Do go check it out.
Yeah.
But maybe Yudra's for you. That dude took a knee to the chin. There's no coming back from that.
All right.
That dude took a knee to the chest.
But it seems like from all these three movies that you've shared, this might be your favorite.
Yeah, maybe I want to let my hair down, apparently, as we can clearly see. And just sometimes you want to switch off your brain and watch a good action.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I had to put it on my brain, turn on. Clearly I don't have any IQ left, because I also had the great opportunity to do an interview recently.
Yeah.
And I just want to, give everyone a reminder that we'll be showing that tomorrow for The Wild Robot, which is a new animation from DreamWorks. You know, the people who made Shrek, the people who made Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. What's so weird about the studio is they have no business making movies as beautiful as they do, because no one expects it. Like, what is The Wild Robot? Have you heard of this? Apparently it's a New York Times bestseller. I know nothing about it. Having seen it now, it's similar to The Little Prince in a way. But the idea is that this consumer robot gets washed up on a beach, and as you can see, I had the great pleasure, the great honor of interviewing Lupita Nyong'o for a second time, and we'll show that tomorrow on Expresso.
Man, I'm so jealous.
You can see me losing my mind, try to keep it together like there's a dude shaking like a leaf under the surface.
You seem very excited there.
Yes, let's keep that family friendly.
Yeah.
I'm just being silly.
All right, thank you, JP. Definitely got me excited about the movies that are coming out tomorrow. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Wherever you are, it's so good being in your company. We continue with some more Feel Good message after this.